Descent is the fourth and final Etza Zombies map, and this map is pretty good for a finale map. Now, it's not as good as Carrier or Outbreak in my opinion, with Carrier having the unique spawns, the grenade point dropper, the better like survival or the better like special rounds and such. And it's not as good as Outbreak, which Outbreak is a very casual zombies experience if you want that. Gotta say, Descent is still a relatively good map, minus some really heavy flaws. So let's get into it, shall we? So just like Carrier, the crew of Linux, Lilith, Decker, and Khan return. But of course, Oz ends up being quite an important, I guess, aspect of this map. Now, Oz actually, well, kind of takes the main center of this map, to be honest. And while you're playing through the map, every few rounds or so, Oz will basically take you out the map into this separate arena. And at first, it's just a very simple, oh look, Zombie Oz can talk and he's alive. But after a while, and I think it's on round 20 if I'm correct, it becomes a boss fight. Yeah, that's right, you fight Oz. And the boss is probably one of the more easier bosses for sure. But my issue with this boss fight, and I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about this, is all the boss fights previously and all the boss fights in the future. With those boss fights, you aren't required to do them. You can go out your way to do them. So, for example, the Easter egg boss fights, you don't have to actually... With the Easter egg boss fights, you don't actually have to go out the way to do them just to play a casual game of zombies. Which I think is really nice because it gives you that freedom. It's like, if you want to do Easter eggs, you can do Easter eggs. But the issue with the Easter eggs, of course, is you're going to be fighting the boss. However, or if you just want to play casually, you can just play casually. However, with Oz's boss fight, you are required to fight him. No matter what. I believe you fight him on round 20 if I'm correct. I might have mentioned it earlier. I think I did mention it earlier. But yeah, you have to fight him on like round 20 and it's a bunch of generators and stuff. Basically, you fight like a giant zombified version of himself. Which is interesting because I think the first phase of the fight... Oh, I think the first part of the... Okay, if I'm correct, his boss fight is split into two actually. So there's the first part where he's just Zombie Oz, and then there's the second part where he's this giant Goliath Zombie Oz. And as soon as you kill that, you're technically done with Descent. Keyword is technically, because you obviously still have the Easter egg, of course, which is, you know, the big thing. I believe there's an Easter egg, I'm not too certain. Is that an Easter egg? I think there is. Yeah, there's a main quest. I was right. But yeah. You got basically solve Oz's challenges. This map very centers around Oz quite a lot, which is something I like because, in my opinion, I think Oz is generally the most interesting Etzel character. Like, if you were to ask me who's the most interesting character out of each non-zombies, non-triac mode. So for Etzel you have Oz. For IW you have Willard. And then for World War II. You probably have Marie. Marie's pretty interesting because of her stuff with her brother, and then obviously the whole Ice King stuff as well. But I would say those are probably the three most interesting characters, without a doubt. But yeah, like this map, I like how it's a central focus on Oz, and this is something I like about Black Ops 4's maps is. Each map is kind of a central focus on each of the characters, minus Richtofen, but he does get his map eventually with Blood. Anyway, let's talk about some stuff with Descent, shall we? So, all your favourite special enemy types are back, which, of course, I have my issues with the EMCs. I don't think dogs are that big of a deal, to be honest. The red zombies that kind of blow up aren't that big. The exploders aren't that big of a deal either, and stuff. Like, I don't mind them. Like, I understand why they're there, right? Because it's to add it's to add variety, so you're not just fighting the same thing over and over again, of course. If I'm correct, I don't think there's any new perks. I believe it's just Etzel Stockpile. but there are 2 new wonder weapons. Or, well, not really. There's 1 new wonder weapon, and then there's 1 weapon so powerful, people consider it the wonder weapon of the map. So the trident is actually the wonder weapon. That's a fun fact. That was considered the wonder weapon, was the trident. But the trident was kind of ass. It was kind of terrible. What was actually considered the wonder weapon of this map was the blunderbuss. And the blunderbuss, let me tell you this right now, it is an incredible weapon. It's so good. It definitely makes the playing this map a lot better, of course. And because of that, a lot of people kind of considered the blunderbuss as the main wonder weapon, even though it wasn't the main wonder weapon. It was because you could get out the box, just like how you could get the trident out the box. But yeah, if you get the blunderbuss or the cell free, you were kind of just cruising through this map to at least, like, you know, the late 20s. So at the end of all this, at the end of killing Oz, you basically find out there's more versions of Oz, which is just brilliant. You know, that's stuff you really wanted to know, is that there's more stuff of Oz. Basically, there's like a little end credits of like what these characters doing now, and I don't remember what most of them are doing, but I do know that at the end you kill the Oz, but there's multiple clones of Oz, which goes back to him being Patient Zero. I think I said, I don't know what I said in the previous video, in the carrier video, but yeah, that was what I was supposed to say, was Patient Zero. But yeah, a little bit of a fun fact actually about this map is this map got leaked on PC before it was supposed to come out. I think somebody just went by and saw it was available, or saw like the description and stuff. You know how you got the map select like screen? I think somebody just literally did that and it accidentally like leaked the map, which is just fucking hilarious. But yeah, to kind of just talk about this map. This map's pretty good. I mean, in my opinion, like I mentioned, I don't think it's as good as Carrier, and I don't think it's as good as Outbreak, but it's not Infection levels bad. I think as we're kind of done with Etzo, I think generally Etzo is a relatively okay zombies mode. It's nothing special. There's not much that adds to it, apart from maybe like, you know, different park names and stuff, or like Etzo Stockpile, which ended up being Bandolier Bandit in Black Ops 4. But for its own standalone thing, it did the job relatively well, honestly. Like, it did a pretty good job. Now, talking about good job, I'm going to have to... I was going to originally put this in the next video, but I'm going to put this in this video as well. I'm going to be changing my scheduling for videos. So, instead of doing 3 videos a week, I'm going to be doing 2 videos a week. That being Wednesday and Sunday. This will take place after the Shadows of Evil video, which will come out this Sunday. And the reason why I'm going to be doing that is because I'm going back to university soon, so I need to spend a lot more time in university, and because it's my final year. So I need to spend a lot more time focusing up on that and doing as well as I can. So hopefully you as the viewer can understand. I still want to get at least 2 videos up a week, because I think that's the bare minimum I can do for you guys. Anyway, I hope you understand that. If you don't, then, well, tough luck, ain't it, really? Anyway, I'll see you Muppets in the next one. Peace.